This is my story for the ACLU to hopefully take a look into. Please help ACLU. On May 8th, I drove up to the Azusa Pot Factory, which is in Azusa. They were growing cannabis for the North Hollywood dispensary. When I walked up to the front door and knocked on it, I got arrested by two officers from Azusa Police Department. They said, "We need the key to get into your building." I told them it's not my building and I don't have a key to get into it. So they took my key ring and started trying to open the door with keys that don't exist. Then, once he realized that I didn't have a key to get into the building, he was quite upset. I could just see it on his face, a rage, total rage. Then I explained to him that it's illegal for him to seize my car for solicitation of prostitution or for sales of drugs. I was doing neither. Now, here's the law. Kenron O'Connor. Here's the case number if you want to look it up on Google. Case number is C as in Charlie, V as in Victor, 019275. So, from there, I went to Azusa, and then from Azusa they took me down to West Covina, and then they took me to Twin Towers. Now, I've never been arrested until this day that happened, so this is a whole new experience for me. So I'm in Twin Towers, and that place is a zoo. It's packed, and people are just suffering in that place. They put people in there that are mental, that need to be in a mental institution, and then people pick on them because they have their problems. You know, there's a lot of people in there that are hurting, and there's a lot of people in there that shouldn't be in there. So I end up going to court, and it's a $2 million bill. I don't have $2 million. Back to Twin Towers I go. Now, I was there for 8 days. I couldn't eat no food for 5 days. Wasn't even hungry. Didn't even think about food. Then I realized, wait a minute, I'm starting to get dizzy. I'm starting to see double. I better start eating. So I sat down and ate that slop. It's terrible food. I didn't like it. Some people do. And 5 minutes later I puked. Couldn't hold it down. Just couldn't hold anything down. And I realized that I was puking blood. Little spots of blood. It must have been my stomach lining. So anyway, on the 8th day, I go back to West Covina, and the bail is $1 million. $1 million. Now murder is about $500,000. Oh, and by the way, the average time for murder is only 5 years. Cultivation of marijuana, 3 to 15 years. Yeah, 3 to 15 years. That's the United States. So, here's a good story. Once I get out of jail, it's only a $50,000 bail, which was less than $5,000 to get out, which I still owe a lot of money to the bail bondsman. So I get out of jail, and I come home, and I open the mail. In the mail, I received a tax bill for $4.6 million. The detective said that there was $4.6 million grown in the Azusa Pot Factory. I'm sure there was less than 2 or 3 pounds after it all dried out. I personally don't know because it wasn't my operation. So, I proceeded to call the tax board. Yeah, they want me to pay it. That's where I'm at with the tax bill. They want me to pay a $4.6 million tax bill. Then we go to court. And the judge, in the preliminary, when my attorney was talking to the detective, which was months ago, what is a mature plant? And the detective didn't know. It was only his second arrest for marijuana, and was actually lying on the stand. Well, the judge told the detective that was on the stand twice, stop lying and tell the truth. This is all documented. But anyway, the arresting detective said that my recommendation for cannabis use is fake. It's fake. It's not fake. It's by a legit doctor, and I have legit reasons for smoking cannabis. If I don't smoke cannabis, I will lose so much weight, I forget to eat. I have no desire to eat food whatsoever. I'm 195 pounds, and when I got out of jail, I lost almost 18 pounds in 8 days. It was quite scary. So, we ended up going to court the other day, and our public defenders, which were 3 of them, because there's 3 of us involved in this, came out with their jaws dropped when they went to talk to us after they spoke to the judge. Public defender said that if it goes to trial, that we won't be able to use any of the dispensary people that own the operation to come in and testify for their grow. So what that means to me is that if we go to trial and the jury doesn't know the law or the judge doesn't explain the law, that means we're going to prison. We're considered renegades. Well, unfortunately, we had to take what they were offering us, because if we went to trial without witnesses, I'm going to prison. We're all going to prison for 15 years, 3 to 15 years for something that's legal, that's illegal. The funny part about this whole thing, during the preliminary, the judge had to get off the bench and take a recess to go look at the law. The judge doesn't know the law. So, the judge says, we're not going to allow the jury to hear the law. You can't have any witnesses on your behalf to protect your innocence. And, oh, by the way, you can't smoke marijuana. If you smoke marijuana, I'm going to prison. And I have my doctor's recommendation. He's violating 215, which California allows people with ailments to ingest cannabis for their ailments. Well, the judge didn't give a shit about that at all. And I'm not going to mention the judge's name, because if I do mention his name, I guarantee you I'll be in prison within hours after this thing comes out if I mention his name. So, what do you think, America? Do you think that the ACLU could help me out with this problem here? Is there a civil rights violation? When you go to court, you're not allowed to bring witnesses in to protect yourselves for your innocence? It seems that right from the start, I'm guilty until proven innocent. In order to get out of situations where you know you're innocent, it requires money. District attorneys can only do so much, and public defenders can only do so much. When the public defenders fight against the district attorney, it's an issue. It's a catch-22. If your public defender gets up and gets boisterous and realizes that your human rights are being violated, they go into a shell. They hide. They don't come out and give you the full ability of their knowledge to help you out. Why is this? Because if the public defender argued the point to the judge and the district attorney and saying in his face, he's got to see these guys every day. Public defenders and district attorneys and judges get paid by the same people. So, I'm hoping that the ACLU can call me and let me know if what took place is socially acceptable, where they don't allow you to have any witnesses in your trial, and they won't allow the individual to smoke cannabis, which their doctor recommends. Please help me, ACLU. Look into this. I'll bring you all the transcripts from the trial, and your head will spin. Everything that I have said is true. The judge will not allow no witnesses for our defense. None of them are allowed to come in. So, ACLU, please help me. Contact me and let me know if you can help me. I'm hoping this still is America, but the way civil rights are being violated, I kind of wonder what state we live in. Please call me, ACLU, and let me know if you can help or not. Thank you. Good day.